Okay, so settling in. We'll begin our practice today again with kind of a little trick that Lee Brasington offers to gladden the heart and the mind, and it ultimately helps to bring about a deeper sense of focus. So you can treat this like a little experiment, see if it's helpful to you, and if it is, you might consider integrating it into your daily practice. But we'll spend the first few minutes of our practice kind of just going through in our minds what we're grateful for. And these can be big things, really big life altering things that we're grateful for, like I'm grateful for my parents, I'm grateful for this life I was given, grateful for the sun, which gives me energy for my food and warms the earth, like really big things. And it can also be super small things, like I'm grateful to have a t-shirt I can wear right now. Or I'm grateful for the chair that I can sit on comfortably. So just kind of letting your mind go through all the things that you can be grateful for. And noticing as you do this what happens in the body. And then I'll invite us to let go of recognizing what we're grateful for and just noticing what's happened in the body. Is there a little more brightness in the mind, a little more brightness in the heart? And just seeing, letting whatever's here be okay. And then I'll invite us to bring our attention to our chosen anchor of awareness. Now, most traditionally, this chosen anchor of awareness is the breath, either at the level of the nostrils or at the level of the rise and fall of the belly. Breathing naturally, letting the body breathe itself. With each in-breath, we know we're breathing in. With each out-breath, we know we're breathing out. As the mind grows more subtle, we may even begin to notice the various phases of the breath, the beginning of the breath, the middle of the breath, the end of the breath. And we may even begin to notice the spaces between the in-breath and the out-breath, and the spaces between the out-breath and the in-breath. simply resting with the breath. And when the mind wanders, simply noticing where it's wandered to. Maybe some distracting sound in the environment, some sensation in the body that calls our attention. Or more times than not, into some flavor of mind wandering. And we can simply notice where the mind has wandered, perhaps name it softly, if that feels helpful to you. And then simply bringing ourselves back to our chosen anchor, in this case, the breath. And resting here. Now, again, for some of us, the breath may not be the wisest choice. If it doesn't feel neutral or safe, you can also use the felt sensations of the hands or the felt sensations of the feet against the floor as your anchor. Resting with those sensations, being with it, being curious, what can I notice? And when the mind wanders, simply notice where it's gone, name it softly, and then bring ourselves back. So we'll practice in this way silently for some time. When the mind wanders, simply notice where it's gone, name it softly, and bring yourself back. Taking special care to how you're approaching this process. Is there an element of criticism? Is there an element of disapproval? And if there is, first of all, letting that be okay. And seeing if instead you might approach this process with a little more kindness. It's like training a puppy how to sit. You show a puppy its sit spot, inevitably the puppy gets distracted and wanders away. With a puppy, we typically wouldn't get angry or upset or judgmental that they can't do this one simple thing. No, we simply notice the puppy's wandering, lead the puppy back to the sit spot, and show the puppy to sit again. So, offering ourselves kindness as we practice with samadhi, with gathering our concentration, gathering our energies, resting with our anchors with a sense of kind curiosity. When the mind wanders, simply notice where it's gone, perhaps naming where it's gone softly, and then bringing ourselves back to the experience of our chosen anchor without judgment and with a sense of kind curiosity. What can I notice? So now we will begin to move into our second practice, into insight practices of mindfulness of body, emotion, feeling, tone. But before we move into it, checking in with your inner guide and seeing what would be best for you today. If your inner guide is telling you that you'd rather just stick with resting with the chosen anchor, gathering focus, gathering energy, you can simply continue the practice and disregard my words, letting them slough off like rain off a raincoat. But if you're ready to continue, the invitation now is to allow your awareness to expand and include your entire body. And we'll begin to practice with mindfulness of body, emotion, and feeling tone. So, for most of us, the easiest way to practice this is to continue resting on our chosen anchor. Only this time, when a sensation within the body, either physical or emotional, arises in our attention, instead of noticing it, naming it softly, and then immediately returning to the chosen anchor, the invitation now is to actually rest with that sensation, with this same sense of kind curiosity. What can I notice about this sensation? We can notice its feeling tone. Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? We might get curious. Is there an emotion related to this sensation? There might be, there might not be. Where does this sensation arise in my body? And sticking with it until one of two things happen. Either a new sensation arises, at which point we can allow our attention to freely flow sensation to sensation, Or the sensation fades away completely, is not replaced by a new sensation. At which point we can simply return to our chosen anchors, rest there until a new sensation within the body arises. So that's one way to practice. Another way to practice is to engage in a body scan, scanning the attention from head to toe, toe to head, either going part by part, piece by piece, or by sweeping, depending on what's available to you. Noticing whatever arises and getting curious with what does. What are the feeling tones, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Are there emotions here? The other option is to rest in a sense of a full body awareness, if that's available to you. Breathing with the entire energy body. Noticing the arising and passing away of sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. So, however you choose to practice, we'll be practicing silently in this way for about the next 10 minutes. Whatever arises inevitably passes away. It might be here for some time, but it changes. And it may go away and come back again, but it never stays the same for long. Can we simply be with sensations as they arise and pass? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral? Can we allow them all? Can we be with our experience without pushing anything away, without wishing anything were different? Can we be with experience as it is now? And can we be kind to ourselves as we are resting in the rise and fall of our experience? For the final few minutes of our practice today, I'll invite us to place a hand on our chest if it feels comfortable, and feeling the warmth of that hand against your chest. And tuning into that sense of warmth, we might offer ourselves phrases of loving kindness. You can choose your own phrases, or you can use these more traditional ones. May I be happy. May I be free from inner and outer harm. May I be truly kind to myself and take good care of myself. May I be free from the ways I get stuck in life. May I be free. continuing to touch into that warmth, offering ourselves loving kindness, resting in loving kindness until we hear the sound of the bell, which will invite us to close this formal meditation practice.